Hey, how's it going? This is Super Jester 78 here, and I am doing a commentary on Transformers Peacekeepers. And some of you are probably wondering why I'm doing a commentary for a show I did a while back. Well, for those of you who are um, subscribed to my channel, you probably know that I rarely ever upload videos on my channel, besides Beast Wars, of course. But yeah, um, yeah, I'm doing this commentary to I wouldn't say bring in a wider audience, but I don't know, just get more viewers, you know. But yeah, and plus, I was thinking of doing a commentary on one of my stop motions. Originally, I was thinking of just doing one for Beast Wars, but I decided, well, why not do it on my first stop motion project? So I have to admit though that I'm probably not going to be very good at this, because basically I'm just going to be talking to myself about a project I worked on years ago. Wait, when did this come out? It's 2013, 2000, 2011. Yeah, this came out like 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. I don't know. I have to double check, but yeah. Um. Well, I haven't really talked about this series yet, so yeah. Let's set aside the introduction and talk about the show. Well, to be honest with you, I never really liked it. You know, like, I know some of you are probably thinking, oh, you're being hard on yourself. It was your first stop motion project, but I know I could have done a better job on this. Like, this scene right here is a good example, because basically it's just a bunch of images. Like, none of them are moving. Like, right there, you see Ironhide. He's just standing there, like, his head isn't moving when he talks. The vocal effects are kind of overdone, especially Bumblebee. Um, oh my god, the dialogue. I wish I could have done a way better job. Like, the dialogue in this is just horrible, you know? But then again, it was my first stop motion project, so I probably shouldn't be kicking myself on the leg too hard on this, but what else should I talk about? You know, this is hard. Like, basically talking to myself, like, again, talking to myself about a project I worked on years ago. I don't really remember working on it. Well, this episode right here, I this literally, I literally only shot it in like 3 days, which is another reason why I don't like it, because I can tell I rushed. Like, my stop motions now, uh, you can't really compare this series to Beast Wars, because my directing style has changed so much. Like Beast Wars, it usually takes me about like 2 weeks to a month to shoot an episode of that. Uh, but this usually took me only like a couple days, but that was because back then I didn't really have much experience with making stop motions. Now I have way more experience. Back then when I made this, no, I um
Somebody help.
uh actually I actually took some advice and kind of studied other people's stop motions, because like at the time when this came out, a lot of other people were making Transformers stop motions on YouTube. You know, people like Math360 UK and Night Slash 2020, and I think Daniel 3CB. I think he was still making Transformers stop motions too when this came out. He's not on YouTube anymore, by the way. But yeah,
Decepticons,
you know,
destroy them.
I kind of wanted to not imitate, but kind of emulate their style. But looking back on it now, I think I kind of failed on that. But then again, uh, that old saying, like, you're your own worst critic, you know, like. But yeah, there's a lot of like, especially right there, like you can tell the lighting, especially in this scene right here, it's way too damn bright. Especially right there too. Like you can barely see their faces. The camera is fuzzy and all that. But you know, it was but again, like I didn't really know. Like I've learned a lot more now than I did back then. Like in terms of making a stop motion film, like. But yeah, it's kind of funny watching this now, seeing how much I've grown in terms of making a stop motion project. Cause yeah, like when I look at this, when I look back on this, I'm like, oh my god, this was really bad. But then again, it's trial and error. You know, you learn from your mistakes, and um, you know, I'm still glad that I made it, even though I know I could have done a way better job with it. But yeah, you know, and uh, surprisingly though, people do seem to like this, so that I'm happy with. Uh, and yeah. This scene right here with Megatron, I could have cut that out if I were making this today. This just went on way too long, especially that scene right there. I could have cut that out. Because I could have easily put this in the second episode if I were making this today, because this is just going on way too long. I didn't shoot this scene well, but then again, I'm nitpicking, so, you know, my voice acting back then wasn't too bad. Uh, Starscream sounds a lot like Tarantulas. For those of you who have been watching my Beast Wars series, you probably know that by now. Basically the same voice, except Tarantulas is a bit more crazier, but yeah. Um oh, if you can hear the crunching, I'm eating Doritos, by the way. Um my Megatron though, he wasn't too bad. He's changed a lot now though. Like now when I voice Megatron, you probably notice he's a lot more deeper now. Like he's more like, I am Megatron. You know, like that. He sounds more like a monster now. I voice him in like a couple series, like most notably Ashton Animations series and Math360 UK's. Uh, wow, actually, all the characters in this series I voiced. This was before I really got to know anybody on YouTube. I was basically a nobody when I made this. Um, but oh wow, it's almost over already. Um, but yeah, if you survive watching this commentary, then I congratulate you. I'm sorry if I bored you guys to death, but yeah. uh, Hopefully you enjoyed it. This is Super Jester 78, and I'm